astronauts, this is me, Brandy, and welcome back to Astro-Tarot Research. This week's reading is, how do they truly feel about me right now? I hope you astronauts have been enjoying this balance of your own personal picks from the polling on the community tab and my personal picks for the reading selections. I think it's a good balance. Now, before we get into these pals, you know what I'm going to ask you? I'm going to ask you to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to catch me live, I go live on the weekends. That is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I will post the time I'll be live at least by Tuesday night, Eastern Standard Time. Now, let us jump into these pals. Oh my gosh, almost forgot. If you would like to follow me and just to know me a little bit more as a person, you can follow me on TikTok, and I have some studies on astrology and etc. on my Instagram if you are interested in that. Now, let us jump into these pals. We have pal number 1, pal number 2, pal number 3, pal number 4, and pal number 5. So let's not waste any more time and just sit back, relax, and choose. Hey pal number 1, let's get started on how they truly feel about you right now. We have Charm, a Princess of Raindrops, 2 of Wands, 4 of Wands, the High Priestess, and the 8 of Cups. So I have one interpretation, well, 2 right off the back. So the first thing I want to go to is the fact that we have this Apprentice of Raindrops charm. So when I see this, I guess this is more so of a thought process rather than a feeling, because it indicates that someone they just find you charming. When they think about you, they think that there is a certain charm to your personality. They think that you are somebody who maybe has their own flavor, their own style. Something about you is distinct and brings some sort of warmth and affection to this person when they think of you. I just want to keep that in mind as we move forward to this reading. So it's already starting off on a positive note. They feel like you have some part of your character has a strong sense of charisma and a magnetic presence. Basically, this person finds you to be enjoyable. And if this is a past person, which kind of goes into my second interpretation when I'm thinking about this reading, if this is a person from your past, then when they look back on, I guess, the interactions you have, they are looking at it from a place of enjoyment and fulfillment. But definitely you have your own allure, you have your own style, you have a magical presence. Just want to throw that out there. The second thing that comes up to me is that, how I was saying before, there are 2 ways I'm going to read this. 1, this is somebody presently in your life, and 2, this is someone who has left. And I say that because we have this 8 of Cups here, which represents moving on to something bigger and better. So for 50% of you, this is a person from your past. This is a person you're asking about, and you're wondering what this person is thinking of you right now. And the 8 of Cups is pretty straightforward. They think that you have moved on to bigger and better things. That is what the 8 of Cups is all about. It's about expanding your reach, your territory, putting yourself out there, finding new, fulfilling, beneficial situations, walking away from a situation that is no longer good for you, abandoning a relationship, basically saying, hey, I don't think this is the right fit for me, wanting to move on, essentially, not wanting to be somewhere when you are not feeling comfortable, or where you don't feel loved, or where you don't feel cherished. That is essentially what this person is feeling about that 50% of you. There is this feeling of like, this person's gone out of my life. This person has moved on to something else. Now, for those of you who are currently active with this person is currently in your life, this person is bringing you joy, love, and fulfillment, then what this Eight of Cups is saying is that they would probably like to reach and dive into a different level or change the pattern of the way your relationship is now. When we get the Eight of Cups, this card is about change. Fives aren't the only card that have to do with change. The Eight of Cups 100% deals with change because it's about switching your situation. I remember I got the Eight of Cups once to ask about my day because, you know, I do my daily readings for myself. And the day was different from my normal pattern. It was a series of events and work tasks that were a lot different than my typical day-to-day monotonous type of work. So it was just a switch up. So this can mean that the person you are thinking about wants a different dynamic, wants something to change, wants some sort of new switch up momentum vibe for your relationships. And for a percentage of you, that 50% of you, that is going to be wanting a deeper commitment. And, you know, if we take this to a smaller percentage, you know, a smaller percentile of that 50% that we are breaking out, I don't want to say this, but I have to because it's part of the interpretations. This could possibly mean this person wants to move on from the relationship. And this is also reinforced by the fact that we have the Two of Wands. Because for this small percentage of you and how you're thinking of this person, whether this is someone who may be a crush or someone you're in a relationship with or somebody you're kind of like dating casually or something along the lines of that. And I'm reading this romantically because I'm sure a lot of you are coming from that perspective. Then this represents this person wanting to step out and meet, you know, other people, you know, in terms of that perspective. I do want to throw that out there for those of you because the Two of Wands always represents one foot out the door. The Two of Wands is ready to explore. The Two of Wands wants to see what's out there. The Two of Wands wants to experiment and go off and do their own thing. And they don't want to be bound by anyone or anything. They're out there to implement their goals and their strategies. And in terms of relationships, this means meeting new people. So I do want to say, and be careful about my wording when I say that for a small percentage of you, and I'm talking about a small percentage, this can represent the person that you're thinking about wants to explore their options. So I just want to throw that out there. I'm not gonna harp on that too much. If this is non-romantic, if you're part of the group that is asking about a non-romantic sort of feel towards this person, is they find you charming. They enjoy your company. They feel like you two have this mutual beneficial connection where you share a lot of different ideas and that you are able to inspire each other in a way with this Two of Wands energy. This represents being someone who is willing to be innovative and creative, and essentially this person finds you exciting. If this is a more platonic sort of reading, they find you exciting. They find you fun to be around. They think that you guys celebrate each other's wins, that you have each other's back, you're supportive, that you provide a lot of guidance, that you're someone they can learn from, that you're someone that they cherish and they protect, because the High Priestess connects to secretive knowledge and wanting to be protective of that knowledge. She hides everything behind the veil. So there is this protective energy coming to play when this is somebody we're talking about from a platonic sense. This is representing wanting to have some quality time together. Not wanting a bunch of people to intrude or interrupt, you know, you two developing in, you know, platonic intimacy, being open and vulnerable and expressing yourself with this friend, acquaintance, whatever the case may be. It just feels like connecting on a deeper level. Like, let's say you have a coworker, you two vibe and you're like our coworker and work friends, and this High Priestess and Eight of Cups is like, hey, you know what? Let's take this outside of work. Like, let's actually hang out. This is the type of energy that this is giving. If you're asking about a situation that is more platonic, I do want to be clear with that. This is the type of person who wants to share secrets with you, who wants to be open with you, who wants to be able to tell you intimate details, about their life. Someone who wants to extend this arm of trust towards you in hopes that you will accept it. This is an energy that is about finding comfort in each other and being able to have an intuitive understanding of each other. Essentially, as I said before, this is all about deepening the relationship. Now let's go a little bit further back, because I'm gotta bounce all over the place because I want to cover all my bases. So going back to the people who you may be referring to someone who's no longer in your life. The way this person feels about you now is they feel like that you've moved on. There's some charming memories about you, and that you are, like I said, exploring your options. They may be exploring their own options, but this is kind of like, hey, I cherish the memories and the time that we have together. I cherish what we have, because like I said, the High Priestess is this protective energy, and it's about not letting everybody into these insights or thoughts, and that's their own personal feelings that they're protecting. So when they're looking back at this relationship, which with the Two of Wands there, I'm not going to say they look back too much, because the Two of Wands likes to move forward, but it's more so that if they ever have any thoughts when they're reflecting back, then they're just like, that was a time that had a lot of good memories. That was something that I have learned and developed from, and I don't understand everything when it comes to that area. And I would probably be interested in observing this person from afar, but I'm not sure if I want to like interact with them again in person or something along the lines of that, because the High Priestess likes to keep their distance. Same with the Eight of Cups. They're like, hey, like, we've moved on. I moved on. You moved on. It's kind of like that type of energy. And this Four of Wands here, as I mentioned before, this is all about celebration and excitement and being in supportive of each other and finding comfort and feeling at home and stable and like this safe haven. So though they have moved on, or they're moving on, or they think that you've moved on, whatever the scenario may be, which I feel like it's probably, depending on who you are, some combination of both, or all energies. Like, they think you've moved on and they've moved on. They're looking back and they're saying, like, that was a time where I felt safe, where I felt, so comfortable around this person, where I feel like we had a lot of good memories. I get this Four of Wands feeling to be like a piece of my heart is always with this person. Or a piece of my heart is always feeling like this sense of like fondness towards this person. Like, those times we had were amazing. Those times where I could, express and be my unique self, especially with the Two of Wands here. The Two of Wands is all about that individuality. It's all about feeling like you're dancing to the beat of your own drum. And with this Four of Wands, it's like, I've created my own home. I've created my own relationship that's different from others and things along the lines of that. And so essentially this person is just looking back with a sense of comfort. I think I've clarified that for those of you who may have been wondering. Okay, that's essentially the vibe of it, if the overall arcing message. Just a very pleasant meeting, actually. So if this is like some sort of ex, then your ex has some fond feelings towards you. They may feel like things have ended on a more positive note, or even if it didn't end on a positive note, they're looking at it back from a more positive perspective. I'll keep that in mind. For those of you who are currently in that relationship, this person feels like they want to grow with you. This person feels like they're looking towards the future, and they're looking towards like moving in together, building a home together, building a life together, possibly marriage for some of you, because the Four of Wands definitely represents wedding. There's a wedding on the card. So this represents, hey, I feel like I have a future with you. I feel like I can put down roots with you. I see myself committing to you in the long term. I am taking the time to actually really think about our long-term compatibility, especially with the High Priestess. The High Priestess likes to think about their decisions before they make them. They want to make sure that there is a bond here that can last forever and that can go deeper, and that isn't something that is superficial, which I don't think they think this is superficial. I think they think that this dynamic that you have is unique, and that it's all about this unexplainable bond is what I want to say. It's about not being afraid to be your true self around someone. It's letting someone into the most, private parts of yourself. It's being able to be essentially open about your deep and darkest secrets. So this person may even feel like it's time for them to, reveal a different layer to themselves, because as you deepen your relationship with someone, obviously ideally you'd be deepening your vulnerability with that person. That's just what comes with the territory. And so sometimes it feels sometimes these cards represent feeling like I want to open up to this person a little bit more. I want to be able to let you know who I truly am, and reveal parts of myself that I have kept private, or even histories about themselves, or, things that people keep private. People have secrets. They have things that they don't always reveal off the bat. That, right? Makes sense, right? And then also, when I see this combination of cards, this can represent like having faith within the relationship. I do want to say that. Yeah, definitely the two pillars, as I've said before, symbolize having like the pillars of Solomon, I believe, like bows and Jachin, or I can't even pronounce the word. Like, I'm so bad with pronunciation. It is my dyslexia. But essentially, these were the pillars on the Temple of Solomon. I think I've mentioned this before. And I believe that temple was destroyed. But essentially, these pillars represent strength and the ability to establish, which means to essentially have faith that things will be rebuilt, and that God, I guess in this case, will be the one to keep things together and keep order to come together, and everything will basically work out in the end. Just have faith. And so this person is feeling, if we take all that symbology and throw it into this reading, this person is feeling like things will work out. I think things will work out with us. I think that we have the strength to go the distance. I just feel it in my bones. They have an intuitive feeling that you two are willing to go the distance and be together. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to reveal. It's pretty short about feelings. Maybe at least when I think the feelings are to the point. The Two of Wands, when we're talking about relationships, always has to do with, like I said, looking towards the future, making plans, and wanting to maybe like open up and tell friends and things along the lines about you, and saying, hey, I want you to introduce my friends. I want you to introduce you to my family. This is like, they're making future plans. If you are in this type of relationship, this person is making future plans for you. Okay? They're making future plans. And as I said, a teeny, teeny small portion of you. A teeny, teeny small portion. Like I said, that very, very, very small portion. This person is making other plans, but they may be making other plans to be with someone else. That's a very small portion, because most of this reading is very positive. So I'm pretty sure like that small portion is probably like 5%, and the 95% all of the other messages apply to. But honestly, these cards are super positive. The fact that we led with, charm, the Prince of Raindrops, this water type energy of fluidity and being flexible and, having things be emotional and intuitive and about forming deep connections and being able to care about other people's feelings. That's what the water element is all about. How are you feeling today? Like wanting to connect in that way. That is the main sort of energy that we get from this reading. This very, very, very much like, how can we emotionally connect? Or how can I reflect on our emotional connection that we once had? But that is what I have for you, pile number 1. Hopefully this resonates. If this does not resonate, feel free to choose another pile, but I'm definitely curious to hear what you have to say below, so don't forget to comment. If this doesn't resonate, like I said, choose another pile, or I may not be the reader for you. Either way, I am very, very happy that you stopped by, and I will see you next time. Au revoir. Hey, pal, number 2, let's get into how they truly feel about you right now. We have Oracle of Gems, Practicality, the 6 of Wands, the 10 of Swords, the Sun, excuse me, and the King of Pentacles. Now I'm going to start off from a romantic perspective, because I'm sure a lot of you are thinking from that, perspective about things. So when we have things like practicality and the 6 of Wands, it's very interesting, because what I get from this reading is this person is thinking about potentially long-term stressors that they may have, or that may come up in the relationship or your interactions with one another. And oh, I just saw a ladybug. Maybe that's a sign. Whenever I see ladybugs, it means like good luck or something, or fortune is coming. So, but let me get into that next. This person has a lot of concerns about the long-term, I guess, connection that you two may form. And I think it's surrounding, like, they feel like you're a type of person who receives a lot of attention. And they feel like you are also someone who has a lot of, bold goals that they want to reach. And I guess they're thinking more of a practical perspective, if they can possibly help you reach those goals. And I guess for them, it is a little bit of a concern, because, it's a little bit more of a pressure or stress, because in their mind, they see you as wonderful sunshine. Like, you bring so much love and light into their life. So essentially, this person wants to make sure that you two ultimately live a happy life together. I want to put that and get that out there. I don't want you guys to be worried like this person is like thinking about leaving. Like, the ladybugs I just saw is a sign of good fortune and grace. And this person is thinking about practically how can they make sure that you two stick together in the long run. How can you make sure that you two blend together harmoniously, that your goals align, that everything is coming together in a way that is reasonable and that makes sense. They're trying to realistically understand how they can further achieve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Like, let's say you have a dream house. This person may be thinking, well, how can I work to get this person's dream house? How can I put in the effort to make this happen? Ultimately, what I see here is this person is thinking of like practical ways in order to bring happiness and fulfillment into not even just your life, but your lives together. They're thinking from like a more harmonious perspective. Another thing that we have about that I was kind of going in before is this person feels like you're someone who may have a lot of admirers or people who are interested in them. And because you have a lot of admirers and people that are interested in, they may feel like you're somebody who just has a lot of options, or even may have like high expectations, because they may feel a part of them has some concerns that, you know, you may wander off. Like the Sun card here is such a wonderful and bright and vibrant card, but sometimes it is not connected to the most loyal cards. So there may be some questions having to do with, oh my gosh, I hope this person doesn't leave me. I hope this person isn't disloyal, things like that. With the Ten of Swords here, it makes me feel like these are sort of like more irrational concerns. These are concerns that, you know, shouldn't even really be in their head. And I think even they know that. I feel like they know that. And then one thing I want to say is they feel like whenever they are around you, you know, not when they're like pulled away from you or they're in their own corner in their own world, but whenever they're around you, they feel reassured that those thoughts, those worries just don't matter. And for those of you who are not in relationships, let's say you have a crush and you are, you know, or dating someone, you know, but you guys aren't like in a serious committed relationship yet, this can represent sorry, this ladybug is going crazy, guys. Hold on one second. I have no clue where that ladybug went. I kind of shoot it away, but I'll find it later. Essentially, this person, because we got these ladybug signs, feels like you bring a lot of luck and life and laughter and happiness and positivity into their life. And I'm taking it as a sign that ladybug was just like circling above my head. As that saying, like, you're right, Spirit saying yes, yes, yes to all of this. So when this person is around you, they feel warm, they feel happy, they feel cherished, they feel loved. It's kind of like this feeling like, oh my gosh, you brighten my day, you are the sunshine of my day, you light up a room, you are the light of my light, you know. Things along the lines of that is what, like, this ray of sunshine type of energy is what we get here, especially with the Six of Wands paired with that. This Six of Wands energy is 100% connecting to you being someone who they feel like, I can show off this person to the world. I'm so proud to be with this person, or like, I'm so happy to have captured this person's attention, or I feel really special being around this person, because the Six of Wands is this card of like, I just won this beautiful, wonderful prize. And so when it's like feelings for a person, it feels like, oh my gosh, I have this amazing person who is interested in me. I have this amazing person who likes me. I have this amazing person who loves me. And they just feel a sense of boost to their self-esteem and self-worth. Almost feeling like, you know, I'm at the peak of my game, or I am somebody who is, you know, it just reminds me of that scene in 500 Days of Summer where he's like skipping down the street and there's like a whole musical and he's just like so happy that he got to be with Summer, or something along the lines of that. Like they're just so excited that, you know, you're interested in them. You know, it really is a boost to their self-esteem, or they feel like in a way they're like, oh my gosh, I have this amazing person I can carry around on my arm, or something along the lines of that. Okay, so generally they just feel like you increase their luck, you increase their happiness, you brighten their day. And like I said, with the practicality, they're thinking of steps and how can I make this work long term? How can I make sure we meet both of our goals? How can I make sure that we are connected and we value the same things? Like they do have some concerns, like what if it doesn't work out? What if this, gets too hot and we have to move away, like the sun, you know what I mean? Like, things along the lines of that, like normal concerns. But I think they feel like whenever they're around you, like I said, they dissipate and they just don't feel that way anymore. Generally, when I get the King of Coins, the King of Coins is this card that generally wants to take care of, help people, wants to offer advice, wants to lend a listening ear, wants to be someone this person can depend on. So this person wants to be a person that you can depend on, that you can count on, that you come to in a time of need. The King of Pentacles is a very protective like energy, protective type force. Someone who wants to be able to make sure that not only are you feeling like, you know, financially secure and taken care of, but Pentacles can deal with a sense of emotional security. So if you're feeling like if you have a bad day, this person wants to be the person that tells you, hey, you look beautiful today, or you look handsome, or you're fine as hell, you know, like things along the lines of that. Like they're here to uplift your self-esteem. They're just like, hey, I want to be that person to cheer you on in a way and tell you just how great you are, because Pentacles is all about, you know, raising that value, raising that worth. Like, hey, I really do think you should go for this. Like, you're an amazing person. You deserve this position. Something like that is how the King of Pentacles would ask. They're there to help encourage you and help you believe in yourself and help you believe in your value. That is what they want to be, that person for you. Just keeping that in mind with the King of Pentacles energy. They feel good when you are relying on them to help you with even small things like, oh, can you help me build this piece of furniture? Or can you drive me to the airport? Like they want to be the person that you ask those questions to. If you're like, hey, I'm hungry, you know, are you in the area? Like, let's go get some food and etc. Like they want to be the person who, you know, helps take care of you, pays for dinner, or be able to just drop food off, whatever the case may be. Like this is a very type of nurturing, let me take care of you type of energy. And then obviously with the Sun card here, there's a lot of, and the Six of Wands, there's a lot of attraction going on there. And I'm not going to get too spicy with it, but they may have some spicy feelings towards you as well when we get into that. Now for the other percent of you who are looking at this from a more practical, not practical, a more platonic perspective. Maybe you've asked a question about like a friend, a coworker, a family member, something along the lines of that. It's very similar when it comes to like the protective energy and wanting to be able to help you out. But with the Sun card here, this can also be representing wanting to be a guide, wanting to be a beacon of knowledge, because the Sun card represents intellect or relates to intellect in a way. It relates to intelligence. It relates to being able to, you know, enlighten someone. So with the Sun card and the King of Pentacles, this can be like, oh, I want to enlighten you on finances, or I want to enlighten you on how to navigate certain journeys. Like I want to help you if you need any sort of advice. Like let's say you go to a friend and you say, hey, have you ever, you know, what kind, like practical things. Like let's say, I'm trying to think of a situation. Like you're applying for jobs and then your friend asks you like, and you say, hey, I don't know how to work. The job wants to use a video program that you're not used to. Like it's not Zoom. It's not Google. What do you call it? Is it Google Video? What I have a name for it. Whatever. It's not Google Video. It's not any sort of Microsoft video program. It's some new video program. And you're like, I don't know how to use this program. Like, have you ever had to use this program? So they want you to lean on them about practical questions like that. Or like, could you help me go over a script? Like, let's say you're an actor and you're just like, I need help going over the script and running my lines. Could you help me with that? This is somebody who will do that. And not only that, like if you have your own personal business, which is probably not most of you, but like some of you might have a business, this can represent being someone who they want to be able to support you and your business. So they want to be able to buy your products. They want to be able to leave those reviews and say, oh my gosh, this is an amazing product. You should go buy it. So they're to support, they're to hype you up, they're to tell you how amazing and great you are. And as I was saying before, if this is more like family members and friends and things along the lines of that, is this can also represent, you know, they having concerns, which is kind of normal if you care about someone. Having some concerns towards you as well with this 10 of Swords, where it can feel like that it may feel like they will be worried that, oh my gosh, this person might betray me, or this person might tell all my secrets, or, something along the lines of that. The one thing I do get about the Ten of Swords is it's a very exaggerated card. It's rarely based on reality. It just kind of spins off into this imaginary world and things along the lines of that. So your friends or family or this platonic person may just suffer from some anxiety, or may have like a negative thinking pattern or something along the lines of that. But whatever the case may be, is they may feel like I don't want this person to betray my trust. That's the sort of feeling that they get. But I don't think they truly believe you will, because all the rest of the cards are so positive, okay? So that's the thing. Like, they may feel like, oh, one thing I get about this is the Ten of Swords is they may feel like the worst is behind you. They may feel like you've gone through ups and downs. You've had like crazy arguments that happens in relationships. You spend enough time with someone and you may say things you regret. You may do things you regret. And they kind of have this perspective of like, okay, the worst is behind me. Like, I feel like we've got to a place within our relationship where things are a little bit more stable, where we have understanding for each other, where we can laugh, where we can joke, where we hype each other up, where we compliment each other, where we feel proud of each other, where we feel like we can support one another, things along the lines of that. And they feel like you add value to their life. You're somebody who is valuable to them, someone who they cherish, someone who they care about, someone who makes them laugh, somebody who says like, has a wild sense of humor, because I can get this Ten of Swords and this the Sun card energy to represent, oh my gosh, this person makes me laugh so much, a little too much. Like, this person makes me laugh to my stomach types of like hurt. You know what I mean? Like, that's that Ten of Swords energy. Like, stop making me laugh, my stomach hurts. Things along the lines of that is what we have here with this type of energy. Okay, so I do want you to keep that in mind when we see that all this combination of cards. And one thing that we have here with this Six of Wands and this Ten of Swords here is they may feel like you're someone who is always looking on the bright side, and it's encouraged them to work on the bright side. So that kind of goes into how they feel, like their feelings towards you feel like, oh my gosh, I feel like this person is so valuable. I feel like this person adds so much to my life because they have taught me to really appreciate the things that I have. Like, that's kind of like their perspective on things. But they truly do feel like you bring some sort of intrinsic value to them. Like, you offer solid advice. You are someone who is always trying to look out for their best interests or take care of them. Like, or things along the lines of that is what we get for this reading. Now, I'm going to end it there, pile number 2, because my battery's dying, and I think Spirit has said all we need to say. Let me know if it resonates below. If not, feel free to choose another pile, or you could choose another reader. Either way, I am happy you stopped by. Hey, pile number 3, let's get into how they truly feel about you right now. We have the Moon shadow work. Ooh, some deep contemplation. The Queen of Wands. The Nine of Swords. That aligns with that shadow work. The Hermit. Yep. Wow. Seven of Wands. Okay. I love how we got the shadow work card, and we got all of these cards of contemplation. Well, at least 2 cards of contemplation to back it up here. So my initial thoughts is this person is trying to assess their feelings for you. Whoever it is that you're thinking about, whoever it is that you have on your mind, they are going through the motions of trying to understand their own feelings. They are trying to look into their past. They're trying to acknowledge their past behaviors. They're trying to be more in tune with how they feel. They're trying to address any sort of insecurities. They're trying to basically grow in self-awareness. This person that you're thinking about may not have a complete total access to their emotional world. That happens to a lot of people sometimes, you know, especially if they have gone through certain traumas, especially if these traumas happened when they were younger. This person is diving deep into their subconscious right now in order to really assess their authentic feelings. Okay? That is just something that I am getting from this reading. They're trying to face any sort of uncomfortable emotions or feelings of jealousy, because this person may have some feelings of jealousy. Now, it could be jealousy in terms of like this person is jealous of you, depending on what you asked about, or this person has some jealousy regarding, you know, maybe losing you or something along the lines of that. Because when we get the Seven of Wands here, I do get this card connected to jealousy sometimes. It can represent feeling like they have to, you know, compete to keep, right? Like they feel like I have to put in a lot of effort to keep this person. I have to put in a lot of effort to make sure this person doesn't leave me. I have to do what it takes so this person doesn't, I guess, get out of my life or something along the lines of that. But there is a lot of inner conflict here. And I think the Seven of Wands is also addressing this person's inner conflict as well. So I'm sorry if this reading isn't like clear cut for you, pal number 3, but this person is struggling through some feelings of possibly inadequacy or turmoil, or, you know, like I said, feeling like they have to prove their worth, or feeling like just conflicted about how they feel. They don't quite understand it, and they are wrestling with their thoughts. Like all of these wands are appearing, and this person is a 7. This person is up here, like hitting and knocking and battling these other wands. This is this person's mind right now. This person isn't quite sure exactly how it is that they are feeling. But they do know that there is obviously a strong attraction. If you've asked about some sort of romantic interest that you have, some sort of partner that you have, or a crush, or someone that you're dating, there is an attraction there, a strong one, I would say. But they aren't sure, like they aren't sure the avenue that they want to go in, the direction that they want to go in terms of the relationship, if this is new, or if you two aren't really a couple yet. If you're currently already in a relationship, this person is wrestling with feelings of, it's either like prioritizing their relationship versus their own ambitions. And I think that's the main thing for about like 70% of you, versus wanting to decide if this relationship is building the type of connection that they are looking for in the long run. The fact of the matter is, this person has a lot of stressful thoughts. This person is a little bit, they're a little bit lost right now, is what I'm getting from this reading. They may feel like they need some time to themselves to really get to know who they are. Because we do have this Queen of Wands here, which is a good sign in terms of like how they feel. Because the Queen of Wands feels like, okay, I want to take care of this person. This person excites me. This person makes me feel motivated. This person encourages me. This person brings a lot of joy and fulfillment into my life. This person is someone I want to socialize with. This person I want to hang out with. This is a person that I, want to give love to, potentially, or something along the lines of that. Or, wow, this person is hot. This person is like someone I have a very strong attraction to. This person has my attention. But this feeling that I get from this person is kind of like, they're like, okay, what do I do with this? I have a strong interest in this person. I have a strong attraction to this person. I know that I am wanting to, I have some sort of draw towards this person. But it's giving like, I don't know what to do with that. I don't know where I stand. Like, I don't know if it's where I stand. I guess they're just saying, I don't know how I feel. I want us to spend time together, but at the same time, I need my space. I want us to go on dates and hang out, but at the same time, I don't know what I want to do with my life. And I think I might be focusing on my career, and I want to focus on my goals and who I want to be as a person. I want to address any sort of flaws or deep inner work that I need to, that has been a long time coming. That has been something that they've needed to address. This could be a person who might struggle with some mental health issues, because I do get the 9 of Swords to represent someone who can suffer from anxiety, who can suffer from depression, who can suffer from like some sort of negative cognitive reasoning, or if that's the right word for it. It's someone who is dealing with possibly repressed emotions, dealing with repressed desires, having to reparent themselves in a way. Like the 9 of Swords has so many feelings of fear, so many feelings of insecurity, so many feelings of jealousy, so many feelings of like, what if this person, what if this situation doesn't work out with this person? So many feelings regarding insecurity or needing to understand more about your self-image and who you are in the world. This is a very self-conscious individual, and I think a part of them is very defensive. But at the same time, like the 7 of Wands is kind of like, well, I like you, but it's kind of like, I don't know what to do. But at the same time, it's like, but I also don't want anyone else to come and swoop you away with the 7 of Wands energy. I just want to say that there. So there's a lot going on internally with this person. If you may even have noticed it yourself, this person could possibly be pulling away a little bit. This person may not fully be expressing everything that's on their mind, especially with this 9 of Swords and the Hermit, because those things represent having those inner thoughts. This isn't like I'm sharing what I think with you. This isn't a time for let me express how I truly feel and go out there in the world and just say what I have to say. This is all about saying, hey, it's nothing, no problem with you, but I need to reassess. I need to reevaluate. I need to understand where things are going, because they may feel, I think for some of you, that this is moving fast. With this Wand energy, this is high energy, this is fast energy, and this is energy that's like, let's go, let's go, let's go. And they're like, wait, let's pause, actually, because where is this going? They don't even know. They've never even really taken the time to thought about it, to think about it. So that's something I want to put out there. This is, I need some time to think for myself. I think I've emphasized that enough. For those of you who may be asking for somebody who you are like in a relationship with, then your partner cares for you. And like I said, the 7 of Wands does provide this sort of protective energy over you. And it's more like, I don't want anyone else to be with you. I would like to be with you. But at the same time, there's this element of distance with the 9 of Swords, because they have so much going on in their mind. They can't really take care of maybe you in the way they want to. The Hermit is generous, though. I will say that. They are generous, but they don't do so in a way where it's like, let me give you my time all the time. It's more like, hey, I need directions and can you help me with that? And the hermit's like, yeah, I can give you some directions. They give you the directions and then they go away. You know, things along the lines of that. So if you're just like, hey, I would like you to spend some time with me, they'll spend a little bit of time with you and then they're just like, okay, time's up. I got to go in my zone, right? So it's that type of energy that they may be giving right now, at least while they're trying to gather their thoughts within this relationship. One thing I will say that is good is that if you're in this relationship, they're not willing to throw it away. But I will say there may be some concerns because there's an association with the Hermit and Virgo connects to conflicts and having to learn to navigate those areas of life that can be very stressful, that can be an area that feels like, okay, I have to put in work for this area. That's something that Virgo is all about. Like, how can I reach a resolution to deal with these things that are coming up? How can I learn to communicate? How can I learn to deal with conflict resolution? How can I learn to have a healthy way to communicate when I am upset? Is something that maybe this person is trying to discover. So there may be some things that within your relationship, or even if you're not in a relationship, if you're dating, some things that have come up that might be concerns for them, that they personally are just like, I don't know how to bring this up to this person. Or maybe something that they want to express that they've been holding back on, and they're like, I don't know how to engage and put in this conversation. And things along the lines of that. They're like, they want the open communication, but they don't know how to go about it in a way that doesn't come off too aggressive or too harsh or something along the lines of that. You may have even seen peaks of that if you know this person well enough, that they can come off like very direct or blunt, and it may not be the smoothest way in order to communicate their feelings. It may even be hurtful to some degree, but that may just be a small portion of you. For those of you asking about someone platonic, then this person, similar, may have some issues or things that they want to bring up with you so that resentment doesn't build and that they can continue a relationship. All in all, I will say for everyone picking this pile, this person wants to continue the time you guys spend together. They want to continue to see you. They're happy to see you. You bring light and joy into their life. You are somebody who encourages them and makes them feel more confident and makes them feel like they can tackle on more things, because the Queen of Wands is that cheerleader energy, and the Seven of Wands is like, go and get it. You got this. You know, it's like very motivating type of energy coming from this. So when we see that, it's like a continuation. Hey, I do want to continue to spend time with you. I do want to continue to grow. And I'm willing to fight for this relationship, essentially. But right now, I feel like there's some issues we might need to address. There's some things that I want to bring up. There's something I might need to tell you. It may not even be something within your relationship. There's issues. There may be something personal that they would like to bring up to you, but they may not be sure how you react, because the Seven of Wands can be very much like defensive energy. Very much like, oh gosh, I think this person might judge me. I think this person is going to be dismissive. I think this person might be, have a more hostile attitude or something. So they're trying to assess, how can I bring this up? And it may not even be something you did. If they have a past of people reacting hostilely or aggressively or in a way that is not emotionally supportive, then of course they're going to be scared to say things. And the Nine of Swords generally represents a past where situations have happened and where people have been a little shady. So they may just be scared because of those reasons and not particularly anything that you've done. But I do want to throw that out there in case you guys have gone through some conflicts and they might be worried that things may pan out the same way they might have done before, and if things were rocky. So that's something to to throw out there for you. And then continuation of those who have this platonic sort of relationship is that someone wants to provide you with advice. They want to continue to be someone you can lean on, someone who can help you out. As I mentioned, the Hermit is there to be very helpful, to be very much like, how can I serve you? At the end of the day, the Hermit is a guide. It is a wise person providing their opinion or providing their advice or in things along the lines of that. In its connection to Virgo, it's kind of hard to get that sentence out. In its connection to Virgo, Virgo represents service and being someone who essentially gives to others or provides for others. And within a relationship or within a friendship, usually there's some sort of give and take. And so it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm giving you gifts. It could be, hey, I'm giving you my time. I'm giving you my effort. I'm giving you my energy. I am sharing my thoughts and my opinions with you. So this person wants to continue to share your thoughts and opinions with you. They want to be able to come to you and say like the crazy controversial things that are on their mind. You know, the Seven of Wands is that very opinionated type of card and energy, and they just like saying, hey, I want to be able to say these wild things to you and get your opinion on the things that are just flowing through my mind right now. So they do want to come to you, and they feel like you might be the friend or the associate for that. But with this Nine of Swords there, they may be worried that they may say something that's too out of the box or too out there, or maybe taken the wrong way. So they don't want to particularly cross a line in that way. So they're trying to be strategic about how they bring certain things up. Moving forward, there could be a past of them just kind of like saying some things that are just a little out of the box, and you're like, okay, that's a wild thing to say. And they're like, okay, I don't want to continue to say these things that are too alarming, but I do want to be able to bounce off, you know, my weird thoughts, my weird ideas. We all have them, right? So that is something to keep in mind with this person. And if you like push towards the toxic side, if you want to go that way for this reading, then this can represent saying kind of like, I don't want to compromise or something like that. Like, that's more like a toxic sort of, like if you're dealing with someone who may have some character flaws, some major character flaws here that they need to work on, which is possible since we've got this shadow work here, then this can represent being someone who is very argumentative. And so their feelings towards you can be something along the lines of, I'm going to find a way to, you know, cut you down or ensure you're not right in a situation, or I am not going to let you ever win an argument or something along the lines of that. Can be with the Seven of Wands and the Hermit card there. I'm looking for ways to push holes in your thought process, or, you know, like if this is a person who is just in a state of mind that is not healthy, then that's going to be the feelings that they have towards you. Like it's going to feel like I'm competing with you, or I don't want you to be better than me. I don't want you to take my limelight. I don't want you to have my shine. That's for a more toxic individual if you've asked about, you know, somebody like that. So that is what I have for you, pile number 3. That covers pretty much all the bases for the feelings that I see within the cards. So keep that in mind. Let me know if this resonates below. Let me know how you feel about the reading. And if you don't resonate with this pal, feel free to choose another pal, or possibly I'm not the reader for you. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe either way. And hopefully I will see you next time. Au revoir. Hey pal, number 4. Let's get into how they feel about you right now. We have 16, the Tower, upheaval, the 5 of Pentacles, the 5 of Cups, the Emperor, and the 5 of Swords. Wow. 3 different 5s. All right. So for you, pile number 4, I guess I have to start with the most obvious interpretation with how they feel about you. And that is, I'm going from the perspective that this person is no longer in your life, or things are pretty tumultuous and, you know, they're about to leave your life, essentially. Because when we have all of these 5s, we all know represent change. And we also have the Tower upheaval. So it's about a new foundation being formed, a new beginning in a way. The Tower can be seen to represent tearing down old structures, as, you know, people say. But the fact that we have like 3 different 5s, like the 5 of Pentacles, the 5 of Cups, the 5 of Swords, this is a lot of hurt energy. This is a lot of energy of feeling like betrayed. This is a lot of energy of possibly fighting. The 5 of Wands isn't here, but maybe if I had drawn more cards, it would be. But it definitely, 5s represent conflict. They represent instability in a way. So their feelings towards you are very tumultuous. 5 of Pentacles feels rejected. The 5 of Cups feels like, oh my gosh, this was a loss. This is a bit of, sometimes it's I miss you. Sometimes it's kind of like, man, we could have had something great. This hurts so much. I'm struggling to get over you. It could be anything from, I regret how the situation ended. I wish I could go back and change a few things. I am experiencing like such a big loss. Like it's, maybe I struggle to get over you. These are the things of the 5 of Cups. And then sometimes it can represent like, you know, what we had was great and it's over and I'm sad. Or, you know, what we had was really never meant to last, but I still miss it anyway. Something along the lines of that is a combination of these cards. So the feelings are very tough here. And then this 5 of Swords energy, well, that's usually not the best card in terms of how someone may feel. Because this can represent feeling like, it can represent feeling like this person's playing with my feelings. This person's playing with my emotions. This person, we haven't spoke in a while and I still have some things that I have left unsaid or something along the lines of that. I feel like this person doesn't view me as someone deserving of love or respect or something along the lines of that. It could be vice versa. Like they could be you feeling these things or, you know, things along the lines of that. I'm just reading how the card's energy is. So this is a very like, very, very tough and challenging emotions that this person is truly feeling towards you. Like they feel like it was just a loss. Like if they were with you, it wouldn't have been great. But, you know, not being with you is also not that great. You know, that 5 of Swords lose-lose type of situation here. So that is for those of you who have been in this relationship or been with someone. Maybe it was a situationship and maybe this was like you have been dating someone. Maybe you've gone on like 7 dates and then it's like, oh, okay, we find out we are not compatible and this just isn't working out. Whatever the situation may be, but this is feelings of like loss, possibly feelings of just feeling like a little bit of hurt, resentment, things along the lines of that, feeling like you've been tossed aside, feeling like you've been ghosted, feeling like you've been left out in the cold. Like that's their sort of feeling towards you. And when we get the Tower and upheaval, it's almost like they felt like they didn't see it coming in a way. Granted, with all these 5s, they probably should have, but we do get this upheaval card to represent like this was such a major change in their life. An upheaval isn't something light. 5s aren't representing like light, fluffy kind of changes. These are major transformative periods that people sort of go through. This represents a lot of variety, and I guess when it comes to their feelings, it says that they have these very up and down feelings when it comes to you. Like I said, on one hand, they miss you. On the other hand, it's just like, this person wasn't right for me. This person hurt me. This person made me feel rejected. This person left me out in the cold. Like, that's their feelings towards you. So if this is someone who is a little bit more platonic, I do want to say that with this feeling here, maybe this is like a relationship. I mean, friendship. Excuse me. Maybe this is a friendship. Maybe this is like some acquaintance or something along the lines of that. If this is an acquaintance, this is a lot of major feelings for an acquaintance. I'll say that. But if this is some sort of like acquaintance, maybe you've had some misunderstandings and difficulties communicating at work or some other environment that you might be in, and this is starting to feel like, hey, we just don't understand each other. We just don't get each other. It feels like we are part of different groups. We're part of different cliques. Like, we used to be able to work well together, but then we had this, dispute, and now it's a little awkward. Like, this is the feeling of that, okay, with an acquaintance. But these are pretty strong feelings if you're asking about an acquaintance. So it must have been some sort of major dispute, or maybe they took it very personally. They could be a very sensitive person, and that may be the reason why. But I think for most of you, this is a little bit more personal. So for those of you who may have chosen like a friend or family member, this person feels like your relationship has totally transformed. And not only has your relationship totally transformed from the time, I guess, you guys have come in contact with each other, been around each other, whatever the case may be, but it has also transformed them. And how could it not with all of these vibes here? These vibes are very much like, all fives push towards transformation. All five vibes push towards change. All fives push towards being innovative, being different, taking risks, taking chances, putting yourself in a position that could potentially be disastrous or something along the lines of that. So in a way, they feel like, oh, I've opened up and I've been hurt, or I have been my authentic self around you and I've been hurt by it, or we could never reach an understanding or something along the lines of that. But either way, the feelings are very tough. The feelings are very tough for this card. It can deal with, in extreme cases, the Five of Swords can deal with manipulation and feeling like, oh my gosh, this person thinks I'm a loser, or they're trying to manipulate me or something, which might be an exaggeration on their end. But that may be possibly how they feel. This person might be going around saying things like, oh my God, this person was such a narcissist. They might be saying that about you because this five energy is like very bitter, especially the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is like that card that's like, I'm going to talk bad about someone. I'm going to gossip on their name. I'm going to go on a smear campaign in a way. So they're probably telling like their own like friends and family or close ones, to them, about you, and saying, oh, how you did them wrong and you did this and this and it came out of nowhere and you were so unpredictable and I could never see eye to eye with you and you were completely unreasonable, or something along the lines of that. Like, this person, for some of you, I'm going to say this is probably, honestly, it's probably more than some of you. It's probably at least like, 60%, 60 to 50% of you. This person is going on this campaign of just like letting out all their hurt feelings, but they're not doing it in a way that is healthy or productive. They're just saying a bunch of bad things, is what I'm getting, or even just having bad thoughts. But the Five of Swords usually talks to somebody about like whatever it is they're going through, especially with the Emperor card here. Because normally we get the Emperor to representing wanting to like take care of someone, wanting to be there for them, wanting to be supportive, wanting to be someone who is thoughtful and thinking of others and making sure that they are strategizing to do what's best for not only themselves, but for the people around them. But when it's surrounded by all these fives, and we also have this Tower upheaval energy, then this is like, my way of thinking is the only way of thinking. They're just like, I don't even see your point of view. Your point of view doesn't make sense. Like, they're in a more like selfish mind state. That is the, I guess, flip side of the Emperor card. It has to do with and it's in his toxic version, or his version that's very unhealed. It has to do with, you know, seeing only their perspective and feeling like they're always right, and they are the ones who were wronged, and they were the ones who did everything how things were supposed to be. And basically, there's also this side of them that's like, I don't want this person to see me cry. I don't want this person to see me hurt. I don't want this person to know that they had like a major effect on me in some regard. Okay, so they're gonna put on this like front of being like very stoic, or, you know, like how like men are taught to be like, don't show your emotions or something like that. So their feelings are like, oh, I can't let them see me sweat. I can't let them see my emotions. I can't let them see my hurt. I can't let them see my pain. So I am going to make sure I hide all of those negative feelings, and I'm going to just, you know, talk about how terrible this person was to me and things along the lines of that. Like, this is very hurt ego as well. This is very much like giving like, hey, my ego's been hurt, my feelings been hurt, I feel like my world's been shattered and turned upside down, and you were the one who did this to me, and I am very upset by it. So I don't know if maybe if this is not resonating with you, feel free to choose another pal, but I cannot interpret this another way that's going to be like, you know, of rainbows and sunshine, and then I would be getting into that toxic positivity, you know what I mean? It just wouldn't make sense. Like, I can't give all this tower and upheaval and 5 of swords and 5 of wands, not 5 of wands, and 5 of pentacles, and be like, everything's sunny and they love you and they want to spend time with you. It's like, come on, no. With all of these cards, this person definitely has some sort of beef with you, or some sort of animosity with you. Okay, I do want to say that. All right, they just feel like either in the lightest way possible, this could just feel like, hey, like, let's say this was like a friend, and you know this friend truly cares about you. This is kind of like saying, hey, I feel like our relationship dynamics have changed. I feel like we don't spend as much time together. I feel like you are had to close the curtains, pal. Number 4, like, the sun was beaming down and it was causing my camera to overheat, and plus I think it changed the lighting, and so okay, that's fixed. But they feel kind of like the relationship has changed. You guys haven't spent as much time together, that you guys have grown a little bit more independent of each other, especially with the Emperor card there. Like, that Emperor card is very independent, do-it-yourself, go-getter type of energy here. And this can represent feeling like you guys have been looking out for your own interest, or, you know, whatever the case may be, but they're a little hurt and they're just like, I feel like you are prioritizing maybe work over me, or other friends over me, other hobbies over me. And they're just like, I want to spend time with you, and things along the lines of that. So they may miss the dynamic that your relationship once had, or they just may miss spending time together, or possibly maybe there's some distance between you with upheaval that can do with, like, you know, a move, or somebody going in a different direction and like physically being somewhere else. And this is just like saying, hey, like, I really love you and want to spend time with you, but I just feel hurt right now that our connection isn't the same as it used to be. And that's for those of you who are asking about somebody who you know has your back. But for the rest of you, yeah, this is very tough. This is a very tough situation that this person is going through. They may feel like you guys have gone through so many different circumstances over the years that have just led to a lot of fights or rifts or misunderstandings, or even just hurt feelings within this dynamic and in this relationship. And it's just not in a good place. And this person knows that, and they feel that way, or at least this is going through this person's mind. They just feel that way. Maybe this beef is all one-sided. Maybe it's all one-sided, and that's just how this person feels. But they are really much like, they're feeling a little bit more like you're not someone who's on their side. You're not someone who supports them. You're not someone who nurtures them. You're not someone who understands them. The 5 of Swords is very competitive, and a part of them kind of sees you as like their competitor. Like, you're their like you're their enemy. Okay, like that's a little bit kind of like how their feelings are going towards, in a way, is what I'm having here. But yeah, they don't want to let you in. They don't feel like you're someone who is going to understand them. And that's the feeling that I'm getting here. They may even feel like you're going to judge them, you're going to hurt them, you're going to wait for a moment to attack, you're going to wait for say something out of line to them. That's kind of the feelings that they get. They feel very, I guess, emotionally unsafe around you. So you're going to get this kind of like maybe Emperor Stoic type of energy from them, or even more anger. Whenever I get the camera cutting off like this, it's usually two things. Spirit is indicating things that are like changing, and saying, yeah, things are really changing, or Spirit is communicating that challenges and frustration are ahead. So if you want to continue with the relationship with this person, it's going to be a rocky road. I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to be tough. It's going to be rocky. There's just a lot of complicated history or complicated emotions that this person is feeling towards you, and they're not all positive. But I want to go back to the Emperor because I did want to finish my sentence. To the Emperor, in its more toxic form, it can represent like this wild rage and anger. Like I've definitely gotten the Emperor to represent just full-blown fights. Like very much angry, very, very like yelling, screaming, whatever the case. Like it's just fight energy. So this person may feel like they have a bone to pick with you. So I just want to throw that out there. And I wanted to end it after that. That is the last thing I wanted to say. So pile number 4, that's tough. If this pile resonates, please feel free to let me know below, the situation, what's going on. If not, feel free to choose another pile, or you could choose another reader. Either way, I'm happy you stopped by and got a reading from me. Don't forget to check out my lives, and feel free to answer the polls that I have on my community tab on what kind of reading you would like to see next. So that is that. Au revoir. Hey pal, number 5, let's get into how they feel about you right now. We have Nine of Gems, Abundance. The Two of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles again. It threw me off because we got it twice. I'm sorry. The Eight of Swords and the World. Wow. Okay. So very interesting feelings that this person has. It's great that we got the Two of Pentacles price, because that means the cards really want to emphasize that Two of Pentacles feelings, which can represent having more of a flexible thought process in a way. So right off the bat, since we have the Two of Pentacles coming up twice, that means Spirit really wants to concentrate on that. So when I see the Two of Pentacles, that can represent sort of like having a flirty type of energy towards each other. Like it's kind of like, very fun, very playful, very flirtatious type of feelings that they have towards you. It can mean that they feel like they are on the same sort of playful type of vibe is what I'm getting here. Like I get Two of Pentacles representing like two peas in a pod, two people of the same, birds of a feather flock together type of energy. When I see the Two of Pentacles here, it's very lighthearted. Okay, so it can represent fun and lightheartedness. So if you are dating someone, or if you are just building a connection, or if you have a crush or something along the lines of that, this represents like, I love spending time with you. I feel like we have a good rapport. I feel like we have a good back and forth. I feel that we have exciting conversations. We have a flirtatious vibe going, and I really like it. But I will say, if this is more so, if you've asked out a serious relationship or someone you are seeing, very much so consistently, and maybe you want something more committed. The Two of Pentacles coming up twice is very non-committal energy, because the Two of Pentacles represents juggling. It represents flexibility. It represents, not being in one place. It represents being able to have that sense of motion and going in one place and being in another place and things along the lines of that. The Two of Pentacles is not stagnant, reliable, consistent type of committal energy we have here. So they may feel like their feelings towards you aren't fully committed, or that they are splitting their time between maybe you and work, you and some other hobby, you and whatever it is that they may do by themselves, if they, whatever the case may be. But it's just not that, what's that word I'm looking for? It's not the most serious card. I'll say that. It can be very hot or cold sometimes. I don't want to sit here and harp on, you know, something that might be unpleasant to hear, but I do have to put that out there because I don't want to get in this mind state where I'm completely ignoring the meanings of the cards and the messages that Spirit is bringing. So I just want to throw that out there. If you are looking for some sort of commitment from this person may not feel that way towards you. But I will say what is really, really great about this energy is if you are wondering if this person has more positive feelings towards you, yes. I mean, absolutely. With the 9 of Pentacles here and the 2 of Pentacles, that represents fun, that represents enjoyment, that represents pleasure, taking the time to really be around someone and wanting to, you know, enjoy your company of this person. You know, the 9 of Pentacles or 9 of Gems, because I'm assuming with this deck, since it's very unusual, it's connected to that 9 of Pentacles energy, where it's very similar about abundance, about walking through your garden and enjoying everything that you've worked hard for. They may feel like they really, really enjoy spending the time you have together. They enjoy the conversations you have. They enjoy hanging out. They enjoy maybe going on dates. They enjoy your interactions. It's a very good energy for that. So the interactions and the feelings are positive. They're just non-committal if you're thinking about someone of a more romantic interest. Now, if you're dating casually and you don't really know this person very well, it kind of makes sense, right? You know, it's like, okay, they're keeping their options a little bit more open. They're not being restrictive about who they spend their time with. They're just more so in a I'm gonna get to know you type of phase. It's good for, this is actually a really great spread if you're asking for somebody more platonic, because this represents, I love our friendship. I love our time spent together. If you're thinking in terms of like a friend or a family member or something, then this sort of non-committal energy doesn't really matter. This is more so pushing towards the energy of the 2 of Pentacles that's very fun and joking around and having a good time. And yes, let's go to museums together. Let's go to, you know, a water park. Let's go to the movie theaters. Let's go to a bar, a club, whatever the case. It's just like, I want to have fun with you, and I love having fun with you, and you are such an easygoing person. You're someone I really get along with. I feel like we're 2 peas in a pod. I feel like we're really connected. I feel like free to be myself, because the 2 of Pentacles is just very free-flowing energy. I don't feel pressure that you are trying to take all of my time. I feel like we have this very free-flowing relationship where we could spend months apart and then we can reconnect and it's just like yesterday. So it's very much like that type of energy. So it's really good for friendships, especially friendships that may be, you know, longer distance, or, you know, when you're adult, or not every adult, but this happens more frequently. The more you grow, people have more lives and they have more responsibilities, and thus their life becomes a little bit more complicated, and they have to juggle several different relationships as well as jobs, ambitions, kids, whatever the case may be. And so this is very good if you've asked about like a friend or acquaintance or a family member, because it's like, oh, I love when we get to see each other. This is so much fun. Like our relationship has a good balance. We're doing our best to incorporate each other in each other's lives. So I do want to say that here. And This is also good if you are just starting out dating someone, because this person their feelings towards you is kind of like, I'm glad you're not pushing me to be in a committed relationship. I'm glad that I can be a little bit more open and honest about the fact that I am still trying to figure out what I want, or I am still able to play the field, or things along the lines of that. If you are open to that type of dynamic and you don't mind that type of dynamic, then this would be a very, very positive message for you, because they feel like there's no pressure, especially when we have this Eight of Swords reversed, because it's following this Pentacle energy. So it is in a reverse position, and it just represents, oh, I'm able to open up about certain things that I normally would be a little bit more closed off about. I am able to speak my mind. I'm able to come out of my shell around you. I am able to be a little bit more free. Like, the energy here is free. The energy here is peaceful. The energy here is like, I don't have to take, I don't have to put so much pressure on, you know, looking for marriage and looking for a long-term relationship and trying to figure out if our values match and trying to figure out, do you want kids? Do I want kids? Where do you want to live? Where do I want to live? And do we have similar interests? Do we have the same religious beliefs? Do we have the same spiritual beliefs? Like, they don't have to have those sort of thoughts or conversations. They feel like they can keep things very light, is what I'm getting here. But, you know, for some people, like I said, if you are in this committed relationship, or you're more serious, or you're trying to gain some sort of stability with this person, then I don't know if this person feels that same way towards you. And please do not shoot the messenger here. I just want to say that, okay? Like, this is very much like, what's that prompt? Like, if you've ever done online dating, and then I think some of them have like, not looking for anything serious, or trying to figure out my dating goals. I think that's a Hinge prompt or something like that. So this is them. They're like, I'm trying to figure out my dating goals, you know, type of energy that they feel towards you. Like, they think, oh, I really like being with you, but I don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm just like, let's just see how it goes. Let's just go with the flow. Like, you know, let's take things one day at a time. Let's just take it easy, you know. Things along the lines of that is their energy. But I will say, with the World card, that is generally a good feeling, especially when we're coming out of this Eight of Swords energy. This is someone who feels like you are someone who is very, very valuable within their life. Someone who they're like, I want to spend more time with you. This is like, I feel like there's no one in the world like you. I feel like there's nothing missing from our current dynamic. Like, everything is like whole. Everything's complete. Everything just feels right to me, how things are. This represents, like, I feel like, what's the word? I feel like I have I have strong feelings for you in terms of, like, I like you. I don't know if this is like a love thing, but this is like, I like you as a person. I feel like you are someone who helps uplift me. I feel like you're somebody who helps support me. I feel like you bring a sense of stability and comfort into my life. I feel like you're someone who is just of great value, is essentially how this person feels. Like, it's kind of like we've been through a lot together, because the World card is the end. It's the end of the Fool's journey in the tarot. So this is like, I feel like we've been through so much together. I feel like we've had plenty of ups and downs. I feel like I know you and you know me, and I feel like you get to see my true thoughts. I feel like you're someone who brings a lot of stability into my life. I feel like you provide me with new perspectives. I feel our relationship doesn't need to add anything else. Everything is great how it is. Everything is wonderful. Everything is perfect. And honestly, if the World card can also represent endings as well. So if you've asked about someone particular who you may have had a previous interaction with, and maybe you're reflecting back and thinking about this person and wondering how they're feeling right now, the World card is representative of closure. So they feel a sense of closure. They feel like we've had a good time together, and you got to see parts of me that I don't necessarily show to everyone, and everything has come to an ending point. We have closed that chapter. We've moved on to something different, and we've both gone our different directions in life. I feel like you brought some valuable lessons to me that I can put forth in the world and that I can apply to my own life moving forward. And I think it is great that we had our interaction, but now it's sort of done. So I just want to put that out there for you all in case you were asking about someone and how they previously sort of thought about you or the perspective that they have on you. It's like saying, yeah, we had some history. We had some fun times together. We've had some maybe ups and downs, because the, juggling can be like, okay, they're up, you're down, up and down. There've been some ups and downs. But at the end of the day, it's done, and there's no spilt blood between us. Like, it's like, we don't, no bad blood, like what is Taylor Swift song? It's not like that. It's more so like, this is done, this is complete. There's no hard feelings type of energy for someone if you've previously sort of asked about them. And they looking back on the relationship and feeling like they've just learned a lot. That they've learned a lot, and that you brought a lot of fun and excitement to their life, and that they were able to open up more, and that was part of like the lesson in the journey that they had to go through and move forward, and that they will continue to do so within their life. Okay, so I just want to say that. But it's really positive. It's really positive in the sense if you're thinking about someone who's you are just curious about, from the past. If you're thinking about someone from the past. Now, if this is someone in the present, this is, like I said, this person is more so thinking along the lines of like, I feel like this relationship is really great how it is. You're really good for me. You're someone who makes me better. You're someone who, like I mentioned before, adds value. You're someone who makes me feel a sense of completion and excitement and things along the lines of that, like is what I want to throw out there for you. They feel fulfilled. They feel accomplished. They have these feelings towards you. Okay. So that is what I want to get to with that. And if you're in a relationship with this person, they are having a good time. But right now, since we got the Two of Pentacles twice, it makes me feel like they themselves, they're just not sure of the direction that they're going in. They're probably trying to find themselves, and they're probably trying to figure out what it is that they want. There was another pile that was kind of similar to this, but generally Two of Pentacles is just very much beginner type of energy. And by beginner type of energy, I'm just like, they're just trying to discover what direction that they want to go in. They don't want to stay in this sort of limbo place that the Two of Pentacles can represent. But at the same time, they are just trying to figure things out. Two of Pentacles is very much, I'm trying to figure things out right now. I'm juggling a lot. I'm trying to see what works for me. And they're trying to see, well, how does this person fit into my life in the long term? Maybe even a part of them doesn't want to think about those things. I'll say that. Because when we have the Eight of Swords reversed, it can be similar to like, I'm letting go of those worries. I'm letting go of those fears. Normally you might have someone, if they're dating someone, they start thinking along the lines of, how does this person fit into my life in the future? How will we form a life together? How will they mix with my family? You know, what kind of education might they want for our kids? Like, what are their values? Like, could I live together with this person? Versus when we have this Eight of Swords reversed, it's like, let's not even think about that. Let's not even have those worries. Let's not be concerned with how things are going or how they're going to play out, or let's not even worry about the future. Let's keep things fun. Let's keep things casual. Let's keep things cool. Like, let's just go with the flow. Like, so their feelings for you are very much like, I want to see where things go. I want to see where things end up. I want to see how we manage to navigate this situation. And when it gets to a time to think about something and growing and getting to the next stage in our relationship, if it gets there, then I'll address it then. That is what's happening here. But you do bring about some sort of confidence to this person. Like, this person feels like, I don't have to be afraid to have conversations with you. I don't feel self-conscious around you. I feel liberated. I feel free. I feel like the World card can represent freedom as well, because it represents like a sense of control and empowerment. And so part of their feelings towards you, they feel like you empower them. They feel like you give them choice. They feel like you're not someone who's giving them ultimatums. And they like that about you. I will say that. They are someone who feels like you're not coming from this judgmental perspective. They feel like they don't have to conform to a structure or a dating narrative or a relationship narrative that fits somebody else's idea of how you two should be interacting with each other. They feel like you allow them to be free, and they appreciate that for you. There's a strong amount of appreciation when it comes to you. They're saying, you are someone I appreciate. You are someone I value. You are someone I feel like I can be free around. You are someone who matters to me, because we have this World card. And like I said, the World card is this precious gem, this pinnacle of achievement. Like, I finally found someone who gets me. I finally found someone who lets me be free. I finally find someone I don't have to edit myself around, or someone who I don't have to introduce my representative first. I can just do my own thing. I finally feel like you are someone who has allowed me to experience my true self. And they may have even had certain thought processes and beliefs before they met you. And they may feel like you've taken this blindfold off of their eyes and you've showed them a world of possibilities. It's giving like Aladdin and Jasmine. I can show you the world. And they're like, oh, they feel like you're like the Aladdin to their Jasmine in a way. Like, you've opened their eyes, you've shown them the world, you've given like them a new perspective on matters. So they feel like you enlighten them. So there's a lot of positive feelings from that side. But like I said, for those of you who are looking for commitment, who are looking for something serious, who are looking for stability, who are looking for a long-term commitment from this person that you're possibly asking about, they're not thinking about that. They're really not. They're just in this free-flowing state. Okay, I just want to give this hippie vibe is what I'm getting here from this person. They're like, I want to live in the present. I just want to enjoy what we have. That is how they feel about you, pal number 5. I enjoy what we have. I want to keep things the way they are right now. I love that you bring this value and stability and happiness and joy and fun, and we get to flirt and joke around type of vibe. If you're into like if this is a more romantic sort of interest that you have here, is what I'm getting. And the last thing I want to say, this may be for a small portion of you, is for these cards, it can also sort of represent a little bit of distance, which it makes sense because the Two of Pentacles is non-committal. So this can be emotional distance, but this can also represent physical distance. So they may feel like, oh, I feel like you're a little bit far away from me right now. And you know, it's fine for how things are. It works for our relationship. We get to see each other when we get to see each other. But you know, we don't see each other all the time, and that's cool. That's cool that we don't get to see each other all the time. But I guess there's really no but. They're just like, we just don't get to see each other that much. So that's their feeling. Their feeling is, we don't see each other as much, but we still support each other. We still care for each other. And then the other thing, like I said, with the emotional distance is like, because there may be this non-committal factor, obviously when you're less committed, you don't have to open up on the same level of vulnerability. Though this person feels like they can be themselves around you, they know that they don't have to give this full-blown open heart surgery level of vulnerability that may come with something like a King of Cups or something along the lines of that. They're just like, hey, I can keep things cool. I can be myself, but I don't have to share all my deepest, darkest secrets, because that's not the type of relationship dynamic that we have. Okay, so that's something that's there, and that's some feelings around that. So I just want to be aware of that with the Two of Pentacles here. Like, hey, we're cool, we have fun, we have a great time, but you know, you may not know me on the deepest level, but you do know me, and I am you know, myself around you, but you may not know everything about me. Things along the lines of that with the Two of Pentacles type of energy. So I just wanted to make note of that when I see that card here. So that is what I have for you, pile number 5. Hopefully this resonates. You know, if not, feel free to choose another pile.